Hello. I enjoy puzzle games from time to time. Okay, well that's a lie. I just enjoy Tetris. Much like a summer's day, Tetris is now something I enjoy regularly. Puyo is now being added to that ritual. Now I know what you're thinking. What the f*** is a Puyo? Well, you see, Puyo is a series that Sega and Compile have basically refused to give us in the US, so you haven't had much of a chance to get acquainted with it. It's a puzzle game where you match 4 or more of these colored blobs to make them disappear, thus causing your Japanese anime character you're playing as to scream out words. You get more points and send more junk to your opponents when you chain more of them clearing together. And once the screen is filled, you top out. Game over. So the game is mostly designed around being a multiplayer experience, or at least always versus another player. However, there have been score attack modes in certain other variants of the game. The earliest game type, seen in Puyo Puyo 1, did have ports to America. The arcade got the actual Puyo game, the Genesis had Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, and the Super Nintendo had Kirby's Avalanche. All of which are weird and deserve to be talked about later. Now you see, the thing about the Puyo Puyo 1 game type is that it's inferior to everything that has been released afterwards. That's because in Puyo Puyo 2, they added the offset, or counter rule, which allows you to counter junk being sent to you from an opponent. So, Puyo Puyo 2 is a proper battle, while Puyo Puyo 1 is...
First guy to die loses!
Yeah, basically that. And since I'm not good, I'm usually the first to die. So I enjoy Puyo Puyo 2, even if I'm not good at it, like I said. However, the only version of the game that came out in the US was the Neo Geo Pocket Color version, and...
Excuse me?
No. So I'll be playing the Genesis and Super Nintendo version, as well as the arcade version. Man, it's weird how it never came out in the US, even though it was one of the most popular arcade games in Japan. Anyways, let's start it up and get playing.
Huh. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad they're for it, but this is an odd place for it. This makes more sense in the arcades. Better than winners don't use drugs. Well, I'm getting deja vu. Anyways, when you normally start the game, you're met with a tower and a roulette of opponents, where one opponent is randomly selected, and then you start battle. Well, actually, beforehand you talk, and then you battle. Welcome to the main gameplay loop, as well as the main music loop. I personally really enjoy the music in the Genesis version more than the Super Nintendo version, but we'll get to that later. Anyways, now you see me playing Puyo. Damn, aren't I doing good? I know I look like I'm doing great, but trust me, it doesn't last. I don't know how, but I've somehow managed to blunder my way to level 2. If you think the game gets gradually more difficult, trust me, it doesn't. It'll get hard as soon as you get to level 2. Well, hard for someone like me. Wait a minute. What exactly is the story of this game? Well, Satan, no, not that Satan, this Satan, wants to marry Arl, the girl you're playing as, and get back his old pet, Carbuncle, which Arl now owns. So, he created this battle tower to lure her there, knowing she'd probably kick all of the asses of everybody there. If she's being played by me, that's not going to happen, but I appreciate the thought regardless of it. Once she gets to the end, he'll propose or do something stupid, and then she'll tell him to kick rocks, and game ended. Woo. Man, I love the updates they made to the Puyo in this game. They're idling, dancing around, just having a good time. I really enjoy that. Adds a whole lot more personality and movement to an otherwise static game. No, please. No. Come on. Yeah. No. Oh, God, please. Alright, that's it. I can't take this anymore. On to the arcade version. Jesus! The game was running on Sega's C2 system arcade hardware, and it very quickly took the Japanese arcades by storm. Oh yeah, I forgot. It has a cute little waiting screen, you know, if you want to play with another person, you know. If you have friends or anything like that. How did I manage to blunder my way to stage 6? How did I manage to blunder my way to stage 6? On just a few quarters. What's wrong with me? Well, I guess this is another one of the interesting quirks of the Puyo franchise. Sometimes you just get lucky. You get a good piece set up, the AI screws up, and now you're on stage 6. Like, earlier, I somehow managed to get this chain. This was all on accident, by the way. But eventually your luck runs out and you hit a brick wall. My brick wall was stage 7. I tried to beat stage 7. Lord knows I tried. So I guess now it's time to use that stolen footage I have and show you the Super Nintendo version. This version of the game adds quite a few things, like for one, there are cutscenes, and for two, there's an easy mode that is sort of an intro just before the battle tower. As you might imagine, this long play, unlike me, actually blazes through the game and finishes it. No way. I guess now's my chance to talk about the cutscenes and the characters. I've always really enjoyed a lot of the Puyo characters and their interactions. It gets really funny, especially in Puyo Puyo Sun, and also the Fever series, which I guess allows me to segue into what happened to Puyo Puyo. After a while, it was still never shown in the US, but then in 2001, Sega acquired the franchise and created Puyo Puyo Fever, which was localized to North America on the Dreamcast, GameCube, and PS2 as Puyo Pop Fever. It didn't do so well, and so Sega never gave us the sequel to that, or any of the other games in the Puyo Puyo Fever franchise, until 2017's localization of Puyo Puyo Tetris. Yes, they couldn't even bring it back to the US without the confidence of Tetris behind it. Oh dear. But people really enjoyed it, and so they gave us Puyo Puyo Champions in 2020, I believe, and Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 in 2021. And, oh man, these localizations, the cutscene dubbing, it's something else, let me tell ya. Speaking of cutscenes and characters, here's my favorite one, Shazo, the Dark Mage. He has a habit of saying stupid things. I've been waiting for you. Oh no, you again? My, you're cute. You came all the way to please me, Sir Shazo Wedgie? Don't you think you're misunderstanding or something? There's nothing to be embarrassed about. You and I are the only ones here now. What does this perverted magician have in mind? It seems that you have not yet realized my true terribleness. Well then, it's time you find out. It's time for the Dark Magician's Great Puyo Puyo Trial. And that's why I love him to death. Like I said, things get a whole lot funnier in Puyo Puyo Sun. I recommend you look up translated cutscenes online, cause it's really entertaining. I guess while we're here, we might as well watch the final cutscene and find out what Satan's up to. My name is Masked Satan. I am the Prince of Darkness that rules the world of magic. Wait, aren't you just Satan? No, I am masked. M-A-S-K-E-D. Satan! Quit looking at me like that. It's useless. Well, take off that mask then. Huh? What? I said take off that mask. You've fallen into my trap. If I can defeat you in a Puyo match, I'll take you on a scandalous date. Do you ever listen to what people say? Yeah, well, that seems about right for these characters. Let's see what happens after he gets his ass kicked. Gasp! I can't believe my eyes! The mysterious masked Satan is actually the beautiful, long-legged Satan I already love. Who knew? Yes, who knew indeed? That was a lame disguise, Satan. Come on, Kakun, let's go home. Wait, how did you know that I was Satan? I told you that I knew even before our battle, remember? But Satan, I'm tired and I'm leaving. Bye-bye. Wait, don't go! Kakun, please don't leave me here. Yeah, that seems about right to the ending I predicted earlier. Well, guess it's time to end this review. I edited this whole thing in one sitting, so you should be happy with what you got. Anyways, my final thoughts. I like it. It has fun, enjoyable cutscenes, the music is great, the gameplay is tight. This is when the Puyo franchise really started to take things by storm. In Japan, like I said. Compile, the company that owned them, basically refused to give it to us in the US. And Sega never really tried until very recently, like I mentioned. So, if you like numbers, I put it a solid 7 or 8 out of 10. And if you can think fast enough, then maybe even a 9. But that's really up to you how much enjoyment you get out of a game you suck at. Anyways, it was me, Nicholas Lasky. I hope you enjoyed the review. This is for a class, actually, so I hope I get a good grade. Because I kind of just threw things together in one day because I work. Well, anyways, bye. No, my goose. Oh, it's fallen. It's gonna die. It's gonna kill me. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the goose killed me in its sleep. Sounds about right for those.